Well, fancy seeing you here. What is up, peeps? Welcome back to more CS news. This might be the best or worst or just craziest video we've had so far this week. Of course, with the Shanghai Major now concluded, we break down the grand finals of FaZe Clan and Team Spirit. And my oh my, I just want to get right off the rip and say, I love Counter-Strike. I love covering this news. I love covering majors. It has been such a fun week to come back here and talk about all of this with you guys who have been shooting the crap in the comments. And I don't think we could have had a grand final much better than this one. Although results-wise, some of you might be a bit upset, understandably. We had so many great teams fall short and not make it to this point. So props to FaZe for the run they made and to Spirit. But let's break it down as we head into map 1. And I think it was pretty obvious fairly early on that Spirit was there to play. And so too, I know this is going to be shocking, was someone like Donk showing up right away.
Donk, you made cuts noise. Do you dare follow me? Question Donk asks, fakes the steps away, trying to play these wicked games on the biggest of stages.
There's so much time, they're going to wait for him to go for this plant or fake plant. Bomb going down now. The chase is on.
Yeah, try to play together. Play for trade, but you can't trade that! Instant one tap to the head of Brokey. Robs versus Donk. Has he got it in him? Can Robs deliver? You can't stop the Donk! Time after time!
And Spirit take nuke, and they do so in a fashion that I thought put a stamp on some things. Like, hey, we're here to play. This is a best of 3 grand final. We've seen a few best of 5s, which I'm not a fan of, but best of 3, you know, winning that first map, hugely important, and they take it pretty handily.
Even another way back into this game.
Karrigan trying to play close quarters now. They're trying to pop and into the top side. Successful. Magic's down. Big one back. Rain delivers. Pushing out. Donk goes searching. Rain on the edge of that smoke, but they're coming from every angle. Donk goes behind Rob. Oh! The one as well. It's up to Rain to save FaZe. Dips away for the reload. It's up to Chopper. Can Rain extend? Oh! He can't touch it. Chopper closes out that one.
But I think for me, why I enjoyed FaZe so much is Spirit take map 1, and they take an early lead. I think it was 3-0 on Ancient, and you're like, okay, they're putting a real hard foot down, and this is going to be hard for most teams to come back from, especially when all of a sudden Donk also has another ace clutch by himself. You're thinking, okay, this could be difficult.
Karrigan tucks Cubby. Block smoke. Might try and use that Tech 9 to burst through. Think twice about that.
Even though that's the key piece of utility for the T's gone, there's no point running through that and just getting slaughtered.
Frozen, here we go. It's tested. Only the one. Good work back. Donk just does deliver and bring down a rifle. Falls into Shiro's hands.
FaZe are worried about slips into A right now. They don't have answers on where Team Spirit are. Just saw Brokey acknowledging the chance for a leak through A. He is checking out Temple and behind, but they're all just waiting over towards B. Cave presence as well as B lane.
This most definitely can still go wrong.
Robs will be quick on the rotation behind.
Up the ramp. Karrigan will have a spot on the Magics, and all nearly 2. Donk does trade. Needs another though. Asking a lot of him, and he still manages it. Multi-kill on that hero rifle. Puts it all onto him though. And ace clutch demanded of Donk, and oh my god, he's doing it again! Just the one hero rifle. Up to Robs to deny. Can he do the impossible once more? The superstar. And Robs to test him, looks away! My god! He's a monster!
This monster isn't living under your bed, Karrigan. He is living in your head.
But then FaZe on their T side, they annihilate Spirit, and by the looks of it after map 2, you're like, holy crap, we have a grand finals in the major going to a map 3, and we don't know what's going to happen. And clearly both teams are here to play, and the odds no longer matter. And I'll tell you what, no, let's just get the last map. Here's how the second map ended.
Often have we said that this year? He's been doing it a whole lot here in Shanghai. Aggression added into the formula. Now to Zontix, rifle available. Sight available for FaZe, and Frozen does finish off Zontix, stops him in his tracks on Donut. Jumper edging towards that CT smoke. He is susceptible to Brokey. Slips through, perhaps going to be overlooked. Karrigan's back is turned. It's just going to come down to how he emerges through the smoke. And Brokey's having none of it. But Counter-Strike fans, they're having all of it. Every single map of this major grand final. And that's it. Magic takes himself out of the round. FaZe Clan back on their bullshit, losing their map pick and taking us the distance.
Still the style there from Magic's on the finish. Didn't want to delay the inevitable much longer, but history will be made at the end of the next map. We could have Donk breaking the record for the youngest major winner, or Karrigan breaking his own for the oldest major winner.
As we head to Dust 2, and it is Spirit way out in the lead, by the way. They had a dominant lead throughout most of this map, and it is a FaZe Clan comeback, a clawback, a fight back that if you guys were not up at 1 a.m. watching, well, I was up around, I guess it was like almost 4 a.m. at that point, and it was remarkable. The comeback that they put on, even to have just the fortitude to stay in that game that could have been over much before then. We head all the way into round 23. The score is 12-10 in favor of Spirit. FaZe Clan have clawed back like half dozen rounds at this point, and it is Rain and Rops with one of the best 2v4s and rounds at a major grand finals that I have ever seen. Legitimately got chills even just rewatching it. Here it is.
Rain, the rock of FaZe, maintains control of middle. Magic's posted. Hoping for an overextension that Rain is not going to give him. Bomb's maneuvering back.
This setup is ready. Karrigan to take first contact. If he goes down, Frozen might go overlooked. This is Frozen's time.
She go ahead of the play, swinging in. Donk is blind. No! Can't connect. Karrigan in trouble now. Do you fight? Do you run?
They're in
He
limbo.
opts for the fight. He opts for the fight, and Magic will punish. FaZe Clan. Oh, Brokey misses his shot. Spirit, they're doing it. 2 frags away from the organization's first major. It's just Rain and Robs. 2 versus 4. Couple of clicks to the mouse, and it's a quick one tap to Zontix. Nice. Jumping, no scope. Rain and Robs refuse to surrender. Magix recovers the orb. Spots that one. Good he transfer. Oh my God! 3 points of hell. He dinked him. Robs refuses and forces the final round of.
And after that, you are thinking it's got to be overtime. Even though you still have a feeling that Spirit has the edge here, it's got to be overtime, right? And here is how the Shanghai major run ended with this round.
For the rounds they've been able to convert, they've come this far, but is it all for naught? Is it all for nothing? It's by miss. There'll be a gap over the top, ever so slightly.
Rain doesn't have the awareness. Maneuver to it. Frozen in the open. Robs again with a double shield.
But B's open.
B is wide open. Zontix and Shiro sees the sight, and Donk now position noted. Rain, can you save him again? Zontix tucks into car. Bomb is planted. Time against FaZe Clan as Spirit are once again within reach of closing it out in the final round of regulation. Karrigan, Rain, Brokey fighting for overtime. Zontix has to pick his moment, find his chance, and he has struck brilliantly onto Rain. It's collapsing around them. Karrigan and Brokey, it comes down to the 1v1. It's overtime. Oh! Denied! Regulation converted! This is their major! This is their history! Written before our very eyes! The dream of every Counter-Strike player is reality for Team Spirit.
What a performance!
Like, my goodness, guys, we now have our new major champions, that being Spirit. They take down FaZe Clan, and I say my goodness because no matter who you were cheering for, and I was cheering for FaZe. I told you guys that last video. All right, I wanted to see Karrigan become the oldest player ever to win a major, but instead we saw the flip side, and that is Donk carrying spirit, okay? Carrying spirit. What does FaZe do to a kid who broke 30 kills on the last map in a major grand finals at the age of 17? If you want to talk about fortitude, I mean, this kid is 17 years old, ain't even finished high school yet, and he has that on a main stage in a grand finals of a major, and not only becoming the youngest ever player to win a Counter-Strike major, the youngest ever MVP to win a major, and the highest rated ever MVP at a major. What the frick are we talking about? And he's just strutting over to FaZe because he just won a major. And for me, one of the best points that I think Don Hossie tweeted about, Magic's. He stayed in his seat. I mean, it was the flip side of that. You had Karrigan, all those guys, obviously heartbroken and devastated. You had Magic's for like a solid 3 minutes, just staying in queue, just staring at a screen, probably wondering, I'm playing a game like Counter-Strike. I just won the pinnacle event of a game that I love, and I love that for him, his team going back to him. I mean, we'll get back to this dude, Donk, but let's take it over to the flip side of some of these reactions. Karrigan literally breaking my heart. One of the greatest of all time, and so too are all of his teammates, right? The run they made here cannot go without saying, like, this was not expected out of FaZe Clan. And in their run, I mean, you think about it, Karrigan wanted all of these teams. He wanted the 3 other best teams in the world, or 3 of your top 4 teams in the world. You take down Vitality, underdog. You take down G2, underdog. You are an underdog for a 3rd straight time against Spirit, and you take them to a map 3 overtime clinching point, and you fall just that short. That has to be devastating, and I can't imagine how that feels for these guys who could have finished off their season with the pinnacle event and were that close to taking down a team that was led by who could be one of the best players of all time, if not the best player of all time by the end of his career. I mean, we're watching the beginning of history, and to see FaZe heartbreak, truly felt that. Karrigan later taking to Twitter to pay homage to his late brother who had passed earlier this year, and that breaks your heart even further. You have FaZe Rain saying how he's dead inside, and you got Robs. Everyone else is saying things, and this is why I love Counter-Strike, because it is such a weird esport where you follow so many teams throughout the year, but at the end of the season, when these kind of things happen at a major to end the year, it even evokes the emotion out of you. Like, I feel heartbroken. I'm not a diehard FaZe fan, but I do really enjoy watching them play, and I'm really happy for Spirit, but I'm even more heartbroken for these guys because it's a crazy esport. That's why I love CS. I mean, you had Zontix literally saying, hey, I know that I'm being carried by Donk. And we talked about this at the beginning of the major. Can Donk elevate his team? He did more than that. He didn't just elevate them. He carried them, all right? I mean, this kid is insane. I mean, if anyone else had a figure like this, dropping 30+ kills in a map 3, I mean, yeah, I would hope you could actually pull this one out. It is insane how good this kid is and how young he is. We are watching the next generation of Counter-Strike. And one of the first movers of that was across the way, starting his pro career at 14, 15 years old. You got a guy like Frozen, who's still killing it, right? But then you have Munassi on the come up. You have Donk on the come up. We are in a new generation of Counter-Strike, and it's been absolutely crazy. And I do want to give a quick shout out to Thunderpick, our esports betting sponsor. They were with us throughout this entire year. It means a lot. Owning a small business, it's real tough out here. So thanks to them. With them throughout the major, we covered the entire thing, and I really do appreciate that. But just as important, I want to thank you guys. It's been really fun to get back into covering CS news, and I know a lot of the comments don't always agree, but that's totally fine. Like, that's what CS is for, right? The banter and back and forth. You guys can disagree with me or with each other, and it's just been really fun to cover this major, and I can't wait to cover all the off-season changes. Like, part of me is just sad because it's so fun to cover these majors, and then we tail into a bit of an off-season, but we will have so many roster changes and other CS news that I will be covering here. So I want to thank all of you guys who have been watching the last few weeks. It's been super, super fun to do. And you guys make it real fun to watch Counter-Strike, and I really enjoy doing this part. So thank you all for being here. I hope you all enjoyed the Shanghai Major coverage, and of course, congrats to Team Spirit. They are your Shanghai Major champions over FaZe Clan. and I cannot wait for 2025 CS. It's going to be freaking lit, and we're going to be here covering it. So, till next time, take care of yourselves. Drink up, big old cup of coffee. You guys already know, double espresso chocolate milk, and get some water in you too. And I'll see you back here sometime soon. Take care, y'all.